Alright, in this video we're dealing with word problems that are going to have the 3D figure of a cylinder, and we're going to solve it. So let's take a look at it. We're going to approach these word problems the same way that we've approached every word problem in our class. So we're going to read it, we're going to box our numbers, any variables it gives us, and we're going to underline keywords. So let's take a look. We have a cylindrical, so let's underline that, because that means it's going to be a cylinder. Water tank has a diameter, keyword, of 5.3 meters and a height, keyword, of 9 meters. What is the maximum volume that the water tank can hold? Round to the nearest tenth. So we're going to round to the nearest tenth. I'm going to underline tenth. Okay, the first thing to do when we have a word problem, as always, just like when we did Pythagorean theorem or anything else, I want to draw it. So step 1 is to underline and box. Step 2 is we are going to draw the shape. So let's draw our water tank. And then my diameter, so I'm going to draw a line all the way across because it's the diameter, is 5.3 meters. The height from top to bottom is 9 meters. So now that we have it drawn, we have our image, we can go ahead and solve this. So we got V is equal to big B times H. So let's go ahead and we'll say big B is equal to something and H is equal to something. Now notice this is that diameter, right? So that means the whole thing, but we just want half of it. We just want this half over here. So let's say, okay, well the diameter divided by 2 equals R. So my diameter is 5.3. And that divided by 2 is equal to, and I'm going to, instead of doing that in my head, let's try to just do that with the calculator. So we have 5.3 divided by 2. And that gives me 2.65. So that's 2.65, and that's my R. So we're going to do pi r squared, so pi, and then times my R, 2.65 squared. Because, right, the base is a circle, so we got to use pi r squared to find the area of that base. And then our height is 9. So now we just need to multiply these together. So this is equal to pi times 2.65 squared times 9. And the first one, this is the first one, I'm going to go ahead and do it with you. And then the rest of them, I'll help you set it up, and you'll go ahead and solve it. So we have pi times 2.65 squared times 9. And it equals 198.557. So if I round that, I would say that would be 198.6. So for my answer, we're going to round to the tens place. So 198. And you know what? Let's go ahead and practice rounding real quick, since it did ask us to round to the tens place. It was 557. The tens place is right here. So we underlined it, circle the number beside it, and if this is 5 or greater, we change it, we move it up. If it's 4 or less, we let it rest. So 198.6, because we got to round up, and that's going to be meters cubed, and that's our answer. So let's go ahead and take a look at number 2. It says a can of corn. Okay, well, I bet you've seen a can of corn. I eat corn out of the can all the time. Has a diameter, we're going to underline that keyword, of 6.6 centimeters. And it has a height, underline, keyword, of 9.9 centimeters. How much corn can the can hold? Round to the nearest tenth. Well, we've done step 1, we've underlined and boxed. So now we're going to go ahead and draw our image. So I'm going to draw this can of corn here. So there's my can of corn. It says the diameter, and notice that's the diameter, so it's all the way across from edge to edge of the circle, is 6.6 centimeters, 6.6. And then the height, right, up and down, the height of this thing is 9.9 centimeters. So what we need to do, first thing we do is get our diameter, right, and we're going to divide it by 2 because that gives us R, which is our radius. So the diameter is 6.6 divided by 2. And this one, it's going to give me 3.3 centimeters. So now I'm going to go ahead and use my formula. And I'm going to say, okay, my b and my h, and b is just pi r squared. So we got pi times my r, which is 3.3 squared. My height is the distance between my two bases. If I shade them in, right, I'm just going the distance between the top and bottom. It's 9.9 centimeters. And now we just need to multiply these together. So that would give me pi 3.3 squared times 9. So get that, round it to the nearest tenth, and write your answer beneath. So let's take a look at number 3. So number 3, it says Felisa wants to determine the maximum capacity of a cylindrical bucket that has a radius of 6 inches and a height of 12 inches. Okay, so we're looking at that, right? Well, she has a bucket, so I'm going to draw a bucket. It's a cylindrical bucket. There's my bucket. And it says that it has a radius, so we just go from the center to the edge of the circle. So this is just half, right? So this is what we want. That means we don't have to worry about it. They didn't give us the diameter. They gave us the actual radius. And so now that we have that, we need to write our height. And it says our height is going to be 12 inches. So we have that. So we got the numbers we need. We just need to plug them in. So we got, well, V is equal to big V times H. We're going to find B first and then H. And it's going to shade this in. Our shape is a circle, so we're using pi r squared to find the area of the base. So we're going to say pi times r, which is 6, squared, times my height, which is 12, and that gives us pi 6 squared times 12. And once I put that into my calculator and solve it, it's going to give me my answer. And I want you from here, so we've done a few of these, and I think you can figure out the rest on your own. I want you to complete this page, all 6 numbers, and then start on the next part of the lesson.